So the characteristics of maintaining a good friendship are: number one, to get to know yourself well enough so that you can communicate your needs effectively. And number two, to be able to be a good friend yourself. Remember that a friendship is a two-way thing. So the next point is to be able to find out how you yourself can be a good friend. I've seen a really good article by Wait But Why that was published several years ago, which I still go back to. And it basically highlights the 10 types of odd friendships that you might inevitably find yourself in. It talks about this mountain of friendship in tier 1 and tier 2 and tier 3 and how you can eventually figure out what kind of friends fall into what categories. It's a useful article because it also emphasizes that adult friendships actually take a lot more time and effort than the standard friendships that we fell into when we were in school. It also made me reflect on love languages. Now, love languages you may or may not have heard of, but they're an essential form of communication. And because we're all about communication, it's also important for us to be aware what our love language is and what the love language of other people in our lives are. You don't have to take a quiz, although I do recommend it. The premise of a love language, and something that you can figure out, is if you really knew yourself and you got to spend time with how you behaved in your relationships. There are two types of love languages. There's the receiving and there's the giving love language. So for example, I love giving gifts. I love giving gifts to and preparing gifts for friends and family. It's the best thing. It gives me a really fun high. Sometimes I have to catch myself and figure out, like, am I doing this for them or for me? But that's my giving love language. My receiving love language, however, is quality time. I would say it used to be physical touch. Because of COVID, I'm just like, don't touch me, don't come near me. So quality time is really important. That's difficult in an adult life, right? Especially because I'm living a really busy life, which is not something I would glorify. I can't expect to have the same level of freedom that I used to have. And I can't expect that from the people I love either. How do I address this concern? If my love language is quality time, then I spend time doing mundane things with my friends. Ana Akana calls this twin time. And it's really interesting to see how that looks like in any adult friendship. But the point is, you're making time for the person and you're doing things together. Whether that's working from home together, you're in an environment that is safe and fun, and at the end of the day, it doesn't make work too bad. My question for you today, and for me today, is number one, do I know my love languages well enough? Number two, am I communicating those effectively? If you know your love language, then good for you. If you don't, spend some time with yourself to think about what it is. Also, be observant. Be an observer in your relationships with your friends. If what annoys them is that you keep buying them things but then they don't actually want stuff, then figure out what it is that they want. Figure out how you can receive and give effort in your friendship. That's the bottom line. If you're still figuring it out, then don't worry about it. Again, this is a process, but make sure that you make the effort for the people that you do want to keep. Because like any mountain, there's only very few spots at the top with you. And you don't want to overextend yourself. So yeah, anyway, read the article. It's really good. Couldn't recommend it enough. It's very useful because after all, we're all about quantitative data. You can hear the ambient sound of frying food.